Face off of the offensive zone for the Hawks. There's a shot there. Oh, he scores a hat-trick goal for Connor Bedard. And here come the Hats.
Connor Bedard didn't just play his best game, he dismantled expectation. Every shot carried precision, every shift felt charged, and his third goal silenced any remaining doubt. But behind that celebration, whispers began around the NHL, and what insiders noticed after the final horn has left everyone waiting for answers.
To Ottawa, Dach scores! Banks it in off Walmart. On the rebound, on a delayed call, Colton Dach makes it 1-0 Hawks.
The Blackhawks struck early inside the United Center in Chicago. At 6:47 of the first period, Colton Dach picked up a rebound off a Louis Crevier drive and scored from the left faceoff circle. According to NHL.com, the puck came off the right point and Dach hammered it home for the 1-0 lead.
Bedard scores! Might have been tipped. Crevier with the shot off the boards. Hawks make it 2-0.
Less than 7 minutes later at 12:06, Crevier himself made it 2-0. He retrieved the puck outside the right circle and fired a one-timer which deflected off Ottawa defenseman Nikolas Matinpalo and into the net.
And it's 3-0 Hawks.
Who's got a good feel to his game, but it's a face-off win by Frank Nazar. That's the key. Then you go D to the winger to the...
Then Bedard got rolling. At 17:53 of the first period, Bedard scored on the power play. He took a pass from Andrei Burakovsky, fired a wrist shot from the right circle past Linus Ullmark for the 3-0 lead. Into the second period, Bedard struck again. At 2:58, he carried the puck into the zone, used a toe drag move, and snapped a high slot wrist shot past Ullmark, making it 4-0. The Senators mounted a brief rally. Jake Sanderson scored at 4:58 when a 55-foot slap shot caromed off the end boards and Spencer Knight's left elbow before going in. Michael Amadio scored at 7:09 when he skated from behind the net and lifted the puck overnight. Then at 8:31, Tim Stützle trimmed the lead to 4-3 with a wrist shot from the right circle on a 2-on-1 rush. But in the third period at 3:46, Bedard completed his hat trick. After a face-off win by Ryan Green, the puck came to Bedard in the left circle and he scored with a snapshot. That made it 5-3. Shortly thereafter at 8:24, Ryan Donato scored from the slot to push it to 6-3. Finally, Frank Nazar sealed it with a shorthanded empty net goal at 12:44 for the 7-3 final. Bedard's stat line: 3 goals and 1 assist, 4 points total. His first career hat trick came in his 169th NHL game. Chicago built momentum in this game with a strong start. They scored 4 times on their first 9 shots. From a tactical viewpoint, Bedard's goals came in 3 different situations: power play, even strength, and after a face-off win, underscoring his versatility. Coach Jeff Blashill of Chicago stated, "I think Connor's had a great start to the year. He's done so many things the right way. He's defending hard. He's stopping on pucks. He's doing a lot of things that are winning hockey habits." Bedard commented after the game, "Just our whole team celebrates each other in moments like, and the fans' reaction was awesome. We have so much support. Obviously, you want to get a hattie anywhere, but to get one at home is nice, and to have that support is unbelievable." From a franchise historical lens, Bedard's 4-point night tied him with Jeremy Roenick for the 3rd most 4-point games by a Blackhawks player before age 21. Only Dennis Savard, 4, and Bobby Hull, 5, had more. Meanwhile, Ottawa's goalie Ullmark played in his 300th NHL game. The Blackhawks now enter a season-high 6-game road trip following this home win. This performance comes at a time when Chicago is showing signs of momentum after a difficult period. Their 3 wins in 4 games reflect an upswing. Bedard's milestone shifts the narrative. For the Blackhawks, it marks not just a strong individual outing, but a potential turning point for their offense. His ability to score at a high level before age 21 places him in elite company within the franchise's history. The Senators, despite coming into the game riding a streak, were unable to maintain their earlier form. The heavy travel and back-to-back schedule may have factored in, but Chicago's sharp start set the tone.
Suzuki. Caufield almost stripped by Catton. Caufield drags it. Tries to stuff it. Decord can't get it. Cole Caufield wins it in overtime.
Cole Caufield just dropped a bombshell on the NHL. In a single rush, he destroyed the Seattle Kraken's comeback and silenced an entire arena. But this moment was more than one goal. It showed how Montreal is changing fast. The young core is no longer learning. They're leading. With Caufield, Suzuki, and Slafkovsky rising together, the Canadiens' future is starting to look completely different. In the matchup against Seattle, the Canadiens had the perfect start. The puck control was tight, the passes clean, and the offense sharp. Caufield got things going early when a loose puck near the crease landed right on his stick. He didn't wait. The shot was quick, precise, and passed the goalie before anyone could react. It looked like Montreal was ready to run away with it. The pressure didn't stop there. On a power play later in the first period, Nick Suzuki worked the puck along the boards and found Caufield waiting for a setup. Instead of firing, Caufield threaded a perfect pass to Juraj Slafkovsky, who ripped it home. It was the kind of smart, fast read that showed how far Caufield's game sense has developed. But Montreal's comfort didn't last. The team built a 3-0 lead before everything unraveled. Seattle stormed back, scoring 3 unanswered goals in less than 10 minutes. The Canadiens, who had looked calm and in control, were suddenly desperate. Every line change felt heavier, and the arena started to tilt in Seattle's favor. Then came overtime. Short, sudden, and unforgettable. Suzuki carried the puck through the neutral zone, drew a defender, and slipped it across to Caufield, flying down the wing. No hesitation. Caufield's shot slid just inside the post, sealing the win. It was over before anyone realized what had happened. This was not a one-off moment. Caufield has been doing this again and again. He already has a pattern of game-saving and game-winning goals this season. He's scored in overtime multiple times, and every time it looks just as sharp. Almost routine now. That's what makes this story so striking. Nick Suzuki's 3-assist night only added to it. His chemistry with Caufield has become the backbone of Montreal's offense. Their connection, fast and instinctive, keeps giving Montreal life in close game. Goalie Jacob Dobes backed it up again, staying undefeated on the season. Montreal's ability to fight through chaos and still win keeps them high in the standing. Caufield's role has shifted from pure scorer to something more complete. His passes now open plays for teammates. His awareness creates chances, and his timing continues to stand out. When the team collapses, he doesn't panic. He finds a lane, a gap, or a moment that turns pressure into point. Looking ahead, that's what makes him dangerous for every opponent. His shot has always been lethal, but now there's balance in his game. Smarter positioning, better control, and a calm that shows in overtime moment. If he keeps this pace, he's heading toward another breakout year. He's not just scoring big goals anymore. He's shaping how Montreal wins them. Caufield's night in Seattle added another chapter to a growing list of clutch performances. He's no longer the rookie who just fires from the circle. He's the player who changes games when the clock gets tight. The numbers already show it. He's producing in overtime more than almost anyone else in the league this season. Each of those goals has come when Montreal was under pressure, and each one has turned a potential loss into a win. Statistically, Caufield's early season production already places him among the league's top clutch scorers. His mix of accuracy and speed keeps defenders guessing. What stands out is the timing. Not how many goals he scored, but when he scores them. Late goals, overtime winners, game-tying shots in the final seconds. That's becoming his pattern. For Montreal, that means something bigger. The franchise has been rebuilding for several years, and they've searched for a consistent offensive leader. Caufield's recent run suggests that leadership might already be forming. His partnership with Suzuki gives the Canadiens a 1-2 offensive core that can carry games without relying on experience or defensive breakdown. Analysts see this as part of a long-term shift for Montreal's roster. Younger players like Caufield, Slafkovsky, and Dobes are setting the tone, not just filling support roles. If this continues, Montreal's offense could transition from streaky to stable, something they've struggled to achieve in recent seasons. Caufield's ceiling is still unknown, but his trajectory looks clear. He's moving toward becoming one of the NHL's most consistent closers, the kind of player who defines the final minutes of games. The combination of a fast release, quick instincts, and poise under pressure is what separates him right now. Every team studies tape to prepare for him, but as this game showed, preparation doesn't guarantee survival. One small window, one open lane, and Cole Caufield changes everything again.
Demidov gets to it. Marchman's up. Ivan Demidov. Line A and tight. Demidov, he's there. He scores!
Something is happening in Montreal. The same team many called a rebuild is now turning into a storm. The Canadiens are faster, tougher, and smarter than anyone expected. Young stars are growing into leaders. Rookies are playing like veterans. Opponents who once looked at Montreal as a break on the schedule are starting to realize the truth. This team is coming, and it's coming fast.
Here's
For
Hudson.
years, the Canadiens...
For Goulet. Goulet wanted it in front. Nice stick. Larson or Suzuki was in home free. Good defensive stick by number 6. Caufield. Wrist shot. Score! Caufield!
For years, the Canadiens were a story of patience. Draft picks, development camps, and cautious optimism filled the headline. But now, that patience is turning into power. The core of this team isn't waiting for tomorrow. They're building something right now. And it starts with the kid. Ivan Demidov has arrived like a spark on fresh ice. The 19-year-old forward doesn't just skate, he glides with purpose. Every stride looks controlled, every decision calculated. His hands move so fast that defenders are still guessing while the puck is already past them. When he touches the puck, the energy in the arena changes. Fans lean forward. You can feel it. The "this kid is different" moment. What sets Demidov apart isn't only his skill, it's his calm. He doesn't panic when pressure builds. He reads the ice, slows the game, and then attacks in seconds. It's the mindset of a player who understands more than the scoreboard. For a teenager, that's rare. For the Canadiens, it's gold. Then there's Lane Hutson, the defenseman who makes the blue line look like a playground. Small by NHL standards, but fearless in every shift, Hutson plays with vision that stretches the rink. He doesn't just move the puck out of danger, he turns defense into offense in a blink. Last season, he tied the record for most assists by a rookie defenseman. For Montreal, that stat isn't trivia. It's a sign that the next generation of leaders is already in control. And through it all stands Martin St. Louis, the coach who teaches hockey like art. He doesn't want robots. He wants thinkers. Players who understand flow, creativity, and instinct. Under him, the Canadiens aren't just playing faster, they're playing freer. Every shift feels like an opportunity. Every young player feels trusted. Nick Suzuki leads them with quiet fire. He's not loud, but every teammate knows his heartbeat drives the room. When he steps onto the ice, the message is clear. Play hard, stay humble, keep moving. Around him, Cole Caufield brings the flash, the quick shot, and the joy that keeps the group loose. Together, they make a room full of belief. And behind them, in goal, Jakub Dobeš has become a symbol of calm. Montreal doesn't look like a team climbing a ladder anymore. It looks like a team ready to jump. What makes Montreal dangerous isn't just talent, it's belief. You can see it in how they carry themselves, in the way a simple goal turns into a message. We're here now. Every shift feels like proof that the plan is working. The coaching staff doesn't hide their confidence either. Martin St. Louis has built a system where creativity isn't punished. It's encouraged. When a rookie tries a bold pass or risks a move through traffic, the bench doesn't groan. It nods. Because that's the identity. Fast, fearless, free. St. Louis played the same way during his own career. Undrafted, undersized, and never afraid to attack. Now he teaches that spirit to a generation built on speed and vision. Lane Hutson, calm as ever, often says that hockey should be played with the head first, then the hands. You see that in every shift he takes. Head up, scanning, thinking. He doesn't force plays, he waits, finds the gap, and then strike. That patience from a player his age is what makes the Canadiens' blue line different. It's not built only on size, it's built on brain. Ivan Demidov mirrors that intelligence up front. He's not just fast, he's unpredictable. He knows when to pass, when to shoot, and when to disappear behind defenders before reappearing in the perfect spot. That unpredictability has already turned tight games into wins. And then there's the chemistry. What frightens other teams is how early this is happening. Most young cores need years to find rhythm. Montreal already has it. The roster's average age is dropping, but the maturity is rising. Each mistake becomes a lesson, not a setback. Front office stability adds another layer. Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton have stuck to a clear direction. Draft skill, develop patience, and let players grow together. They haven't rushed anyone. And now the payoff is visible. A group that understands both the system and each other is rare in any era. The Canadiens may not call themselves contenders yet, but the rest of the league can see where this is heading. The speed, the structure, the swagger, it's all lining up. If this is what they look like now, imagine what they'll look like when the pieces fully mature. The NHL has reason to be nervous because the Habs are no longer rebuilding the future. They've already started living in it.
One of the players who was found not guilty in a high high-profile sexual assault trial is returning to the NHL. That's Carter Hart, the goaltender, now signed with the Vegas Golden Knights.
This is one of the most shocking returns in recent hockey history. This is the news that no one expected to hear this season. Carter Hart is back. His reinstatement and sudden return to the NHL have set off a wave of reaction across the league.
Like I said, I got to meet some guys here today. Everybody's been very welcoming, and I'm just looking forward to getting things rolling here.
Carter Hart is 27 years old. On October 16th, 2025, he signed a professional tryout deal with the Vegas Golden Knights. The news came only weeks after a court found him not guilty in a 2018 case involving the Canadian World Junior team. According to Reuters, Hart is the first of 5 players from that case to rejoin the NHL after the trial ended. The deal allows Hart to train with Vegas but not play in any games until December 1st. That restriction was set by the NHL and the NHL Players Association when the players were reinstated. Until then, he can only practice with the team or work out with their affiliates. The Golden Knights already have 2 goalies, Adin Hill and Akira Schmid. Hill is recovering from a lower body injury, which made the team look for extra depth. Hart last played in the NHL with the Philadelphia Flyers. In his time there, he appeared in 227 games. His record was 96 wins, 93 losses, and 29 overtime defeats. He earned 6 shutouts, had a 2.94 goals against average, and a .906 save percentage. These are solid numbers for a goaltender who joined the league at age 20. The Golden Knights said in a statement that they stand by the NHL and NHLPA's decision to allow Hart to return. They added that they remain committed to the core values of the team and expect players to meet these standards. Hart also gave a short comment. He said he wants to show the community my true character and who he really is. The case that changed Hart's career started in June 2018. After Canada's World Junior Championship, a woman accused 5 players of sexual assault. In July 2025, the court cleared Hart and the others, ruling that the complainant's evidence was not credible or reliable. The verdict came after months of national coverage in Canada and the US. The NHL then reviewed the case before allowing any player to sign again. Before joining Vegas, other NHL teams had shown interest in Hart. The Carolina Hurricanes looked into signing him, but later confirmed they would not make an offer. Hart's agent said his client wanted a new start somewhere else. The Flyers, his former team, did not give him a qualifying offer, which made him an unrestricted free agent. For the Vegas Golden Knights, this signing could be both a risk and an opportunity. Their top goalie, Adin Hill, is still healing, and they need coverage at the position. Hart's experience could help the team later in the season. If his tryout goes well, Pro Hockey Rumors reports the team may offer him a 2-year deal worth about $1.8 million per season. The suspension was automatic while the league's investigation was still open. When that process ended, all 5 players became free to negotiate. Since Hart is the first to sign, his situation is being watched closely by teams, sponsors, and fans. Some believe his performance will determine whether other reinstated players will also return. Reports suggest that at least one of the other 4 has started talks with an NHL team. Hart's career before this controversy was promising. He was a 3-time Canadian Hockey League Goaltender of the Year and led Canada to a gold medal at the 2018 World Junior. Many experts once called him the future of Canadian goaltending. His return to the NHL now tests whether that early potential can still turn into a long career. In the league's public report, officials stated that reinstatement does not guarantee public approval. It only confirms that there are no active legal or disciplinary barriers. Hart's deal with Vegas fits within that rule. The Golden Knights said they followed the process and assessment the NHL and NHLPA made in their decision. From a hockey standpoint, Vegas gains an experienced goaltender during a season when several teams face injury. But the move also places the franchise under a spotlight. The case had drawn national attention, and the NHL's handling of it has been widely discussed. Hart's next step will come in team practices through November. Once December 1st arrives, he will be eligible to appear in official games. By then, Vegas will decide whether to keep him, move him to an affiliate, or end the tryout. For now, the signing alone has stirred debate across the hockey world. Major outlets including Reuters, the Associated Press, ESPN, and The Guardian have all covered the story, emphasizing its scale and impact. In less than a week, Carter Hart's name returned to headlines after almost 2 years of absence. For professional hockey, it is one of the biggest comebacks of 2025, and one that has already changed how the league talks about discipline, fairness, and second chances.